Hi guys, hi, how's it going? How you doing today? Hopefully today finds you well. Today I'm doing my Project Pan update for the month of August. I think I say this every single time, but I really just can't believe that we're here at this point. I also really can't believe that we are in August and I am in a sweatshirt. Like, what is going on right now? But also, really trying to embody my inner rocker chick today. Let's just say that in my big fluffy sweatshirt. So anyways, we're here for Project Pan update and I'm super excited to talk to you guys about it because I think that we've been creeping along knowing that we were going to have some major progress coming soon, and we have some major progress today. So I am so excited to talk to you about today's Project Pan update, and if that sounds like something you're interested in, please keep on watching. For those of you new here, my name is Donna. I'm a field business leader for Ulta Beauty. I get a lot of education. I like to bring you that education here. Ultimately, I'm just out here talking about makeup because I also purchase a lot and like to talk about makeup. I'm assuming you probably also like to talk about makeup, and that's why you're here. So I think that you'll find that this channel is kind of fun to be on. So I hope that you'll want to subscribe before you go. And with that said, let's roll into this Project Pan update because I cannot wait to talk to you about it. The love of my life is using our computer right now for his magical 3D printer that my soon-to-be son-in-law purchased for him for Father's Day. Mind you, they didn't get me anything for Mother's Day, but I digress. So I need to pull up the spreadsheet because I don't have it on me. I always start with what is still in the project and then talk to you about the empties afterwards. So we're gonna start with this. This is the Dior Face and Body Foundation. I do have mine in the shade 3N. This is what it looks like currently. This is a product that I have to shake every single time I use it, and any amount of movement moves the level of where you're going to see the product at. With that said, before I shook it this morning, I did mark it again, and you guys can see we do have a third marking here. This is a slow going process because this is kind of a large bottle, like a fat bottle. So it doesn't deplete from a skinny end down to a fat end or a fat end down to a skinny end. It doesn't deplete that way. There's the same amount all over. So even though I am using this every single day I wear makeup to mix in with the other foundations that I'm currently using, it's just not depleting very quickly. Last month, this did come in at 49.11 grams of product, and this month it is coming in at 47 grams of product even. So we are seeing, a good amount of usage. I used 2.11 grams of product last month, and I'm really happy that we're seeing some weight changes because we're definitely not seeing the markings being changed as much as I would anticipate they were for someone who is using this product every day. This product did roll into this Project Pan in April, so we're rolling into the 5th month that this is in the project, and I mean, from here to here is the amount of usage, and that is literally not much. So with that said, it's not like a product that I'm using all on its own. I do love this product. I just think that 3N is maybe not the right shade for me at all. So if I were to pick up this product again, it would be in a much lighter shade. I love the finish of this, and I love how this wears on the face. And I love that it wears away in a beautiful way and not in a patchy way. You can barely tell it's on your skin, and you can barely tell it's not on your skin when it starts to wear away throughout the day. It is a product that I used to wear on its own when I lived in Eastern Washington, and it was quite a bit more tan during the summertime, but this is just not for me and my Western PNW skin because I am quite a bit more fair over here than I was over there. That said, that will remain in the product probably until the end of the year. Honestly, it's not a product that I foresee being decluttered at any time soon because it still works. It's still beautiful and it's still going. It's still going and kicking. And the next product I have in here is the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Glow Wand. This is in the shade Pinkgasm. This also rolled in April, and I do think that I finally had a breakthrough with this. For those of you who have been watching this series transpire, you know that I just didn't love this, but I have really liked it for the more like bronzy, like summery, bronzy, sun-kissed looks that I've been doing on my face, and I have worn this probably 15 times since the last time we updated. That said, I also believe I hit kind of an air bubble. I think a lot of the reason why I didn't love it in the beginning is because I was having some super struggle with the packaging. Like the product wasn't coming out. I couldn't figure out what I was doing. It was open, but it just wasn't flowing. I do think I hit an air bubble because here we are right here. And you can see all that usage. And I do think, honestly, that this line here that is up top could be a little further down, but there is quite a bit of air in here that is just not full of product. I can feel it like squishing around in here and making all kinds of gross noises. So I do think I hit an air bubble in it. I think that this will likely probably be gone by next month if I continue to use it throughout this month in the way that I was using it throughout the last month and hit another air bubble, as it appears there is one inside of here. This did weigh 10.95 grams last update, and this update it weighs 9.52 grams. So we're obviously seeing some usage, a lot more usage than in the previous months, where I wasn't seeing hardly any usage at all. Like I said, I was having some serious problems with the applicator, and I think that also led to the detriment of whether I liked it or not. I did get this in gratis, I do believe, when Charlotte first came to Ulta Beauty stores. I do believe that it is probably a summertime use product for me only because I really have enjoyed using it on my cheeks as kind of like a bronzy, like sun-kissed, like blush slash highlighter. And I'm not wearing a whole lot of highlight these days. Listen, my under eyes are crazy today because this eye, for whatever reason, is struggle bussin'. It's having a moment of not loving life, but really trying to inspire it to be amazing with this eye look I've got going on today. It's not feeling it. It's not feeling it. So if I look tired, it's not because of that. It's because I'm having like some eye issues today. If I look tired, I maybe am tired also. There's that. Work has been kicking my butt. Okay, so the next one that is still in is the Makeup by Mario Glow Gloss. This is in the shade Mauve Glow. I can't like push this up for you because it's one of those that once it's up, like you can't retract it. So I don't have like much to show you except for like weights. It did weigh 11.46 last month, and this month it weighs 10.83. I was working pretty consistently on a couple of other things throughout the last month, so I did use it, just not as much as I maybe could have used it. It is a favorite for me. I do love it. It gives you a really nice, beautiful, like, glow to your lips. It is a little bit more warm than I anticipated it would be, considering the outer package color as well as the shade name is Mauve Glow, and mauves tend to be a little bit more cool. But I feel like over the top of like a really good like cool toned lip liner or a really good cool tone lipstick, it does transform the look in a very beautiful way. So I will continue to use this. It's got a little bit of plumpiness to it, or so it says, but I feel like it's just maybe a little bit minty. It feels a little bit minty. It doesn't hurt. It's not painful at all. I don't know how much is left of this product, so I can't tell you how long this will be in. I do anticipate the Glowgasm will be gone by next month, but I do anticipate this will probably be in as long as the Dior foundation is in, because I don't know how much is left in it. However, it is going to be the only lip product, the only lip gloss that's left in here, unless I pull something new in that's also a gloss. So I do think that I can barrel through it pretty quickly if it is the only one that I'm focusing on. The next thing I have that's still in is the Huda Beauty lip contour, and this one is in the shade Trophy Wife, and I have a couple different things for you. I have some b-roll for you. I also have weights for you because of my new scale. I can weigh pencils. I also have like my little tracker here that's going to show you the size it was when we rolled it in versus the size it is now. Now, what I will say is that the tracker that you're seeing right now, there is quite a large amount of product that was used between last month and this month. And I do think that some of that is because this is a really old lip pencil in my collection. I think I got it in 2018, 2019, something like that. And it just is a formula right now that isn't standing the test of time, right? It's been too long and it kind of breaks away in the component as I'm sharpening it. With that said, this is where I am right now. You know, I did still get quite a bit of use on it. It is the lip liner that I used almost every single time throughout the month. It's not what I'm wearing today. It's just a little bit too pink for what I have going on my eyes. I felt like maybe a little bit too warm tone for what I have going on my eyes. So it's not what I'm wearing today, but it is what I wore for the most part throughout the entirety of the month once the other lip liner that was in here was gone. And in addition to that, I did wear it a lot with the other lip liner because it's in the same color family, but two different like tones. So I would wear one on the outer portions of my lip and one on the inner portions of my lip. This one did weigh in at 4.45 grams last update, and this month it is at 3.57 grams, so almost an entire gram of product was used in this lip liner, and I think that that is a quasi-fair amount. Like when I was sharpening it last, it did break, but not a lot. So, and I think I've only sharpened it twice during this entire month. So not a lot of that was lost because of breakage with the product. So I'm really happy with how this is going. This has been in since June, so it's been in for 2 months now, and I think that that's maybe a little more than a fair amount of usage for me anyways in my lip liners month over month. That's probably twice the amount of typical usage for me month over month, but again, I sharpened it twice and it broke both times in the sharpener. And the last thing I have to share weights with you on is the IT Cosmetics CC Plus Nude Glow. And I think that you guys can see that there is not much left of this product. And when I'm looking at it in the light, like it's definitely barren all through here until about here, which is why that is where I have it marked, is right down here. Now, I do think that there's probably less product than that in here, but I also think that that's like the most reasonable place that I can mark it because you can't really bend it anymore than where that line is. And this is one of those pumps that is an air pump, so it's going to pump out all the product and just be completely flat at the end of the day. This has been in since July, 1 month in the project, but it did weigh in at 31.57 grams last month when we rolled it in, and this month it's weighing in at 25.44 grams. It is, in addition to this product, what is on my face today. It is what has been on my face every single day of the last month, except for the 2 days that I wore the other foundation that I just recently rolled into my deck of panning. So this will be gone next month. It will be gone next month because there is certainly not much left of it. And I think that, I mean, if it's not gone, I would be surprised. But this was a product that, I mean, clearly this is where we started in July, so it's a product that I had used quite significantly prior to rolling it into this project. I just knew it was a foundation that I was almost done with, so I wanted to finish it up and have, you know, an additional foundation in my year of empties this year. So that will be gone likely next month. Again, if it's not, I will be surprised. So now let's talk about some of the empties that I have for this month. So the thing that has been in the longest is the Lawless Forget the Filler. I knew that if I honed in and really focused on this guy, I would get it done. I did at one point in time take the stopper out of this guy, but I did put it back in there because stoppers are just a mess if you leave them out. But I had it out long enough to get all the product that was sucked in here in between the stopper and the component, and then scrape the sides of this to be able to finish this product off. And I am really happy to say that I loved this gloss. I have another one in my collection that I purchased because I love this gloss so much. I especially really love the doe foot on this because it's got a nice slant to it. It's really kind of big. It helps like saturate your lips without having to spend a whole lot of time on saturating your lips, but also, I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, it also helps to with the doe foot that big and hugging your lips like it does, like I don't need a mirror to apply it, so reapplication was super easy. That said, I did carry this around with me everywhere, and I don't know if you guys can see the lid on it, but it is pretty beat up, losing a lot of its like coloring or overspray or whatever it is on this, but this guy is empty. So excited about that. This Lawless Forget the Filler in Velvet was in my collection for quite some time and in the project pan since April. It weighed in at 32 grams. I had used it quite significantly before bringing it in, and it currently weighs 29.79 grams, completely empty. The next one that is completely gone is my Makeup by Mario Sculpt Stick that was in the Becca Eye Balm component because the regular component broke. This is the one half of the full product because I did end up putting the full product into two different components because it wouldn't fit into one. So I think I'm gonna bring in the second half of that component into this project pan so I can potentially have that entire product gone by the end of the year. This guy did weigh in when we brought it in this component in April at 38 grams, and then today it weighs 35.85 grams of product, or grams. So there was only approximately 3 grams of product in this to begin with. Now those sculpt sticks are pretty big, so that doesn't surprise me. So when I moved the Makeup by Mario into two different components, I split it also into two different spots in my makeup inventory. So this will go into my makeup inventories as a placeholder for half of that Makeup by Mario stick, and it will count as a point in my makeup empties because it counts as 2 points in my makeup inventory at this point in time. So with that said, super happy to be done with that one. The next product would be the Ciate London Watermelon Burst Lip Oil. This is a product that I rolled in May. And when I rolled it in May, it weighed 8.51 grams. We found that it was going super fast, and part of that was because the component was leaking. But this is it today, completely empty, but also looks really full. I think that that is the telltale sign that there is something going on with the component because it should be completely flat, but there's obviously like an air issue in this. So this month, completely empty. It weighs 4.13 grams. Which means that over the lifetime of this project pan, we used just over 4 grams of product in this. And I believe that this was a sample or maybe a mini. I think it's in my inventory as a mini. So, I mean, that's a pretty good size amount for a mini product. When I brought it into this project pan in May, it wasn't the first time I had used it. So really good amount of product in here. Is it a lip oil that I love? Yes, but also I hated that component. I really did like the lip oil, but I also to some extent feel like it dried out my lips. So I'm not really 100% sure if it is a product that I love wholeheartedly, but I did like it enough. Would I repurchase it? No. The next three products I have are products that I rolled in July, and we knew that they weren't going to be long-standing products, but one of them I was like, I don't know how much is in here, but I do know that these typically go fast, and that is the Quick Liner for Lips Intense by Clinique. These products don't have very much in them, and I would say that this came in like a holiday kit, so this might not be as much as you're going to receive in a regular one, but that's part of the reason why I don't really like these like lip liners or eyeliners that are in these kind of components where you can't roll them up and see how much product is in it, and because you cannot then retract it back into the component, they just kind of run out on you in the most inopportune ways. And that was the case with this one. I had only used this, let's see, I emptied this on the 13th, which means there was only 13 potential days that I was able to use this product, and I don't wear makeup every single day. So I would venture to say this probably got maybe 6 uses out of it before it was completely empty. I can't roll it up. There's just nothing. There's nothing coming out of it anymore. So this did roll in last month at 4.68 grams. Today it's weighing 4.62 grams. So there was 0.06 ounces of product in it when we rolled it in here. So there's that. Like literally I got 6 uses out of it. The next one is the Neon Shockwave liner that was an eyeliner, and we rolled it in last month. It was really, really quite tiny when we rolled it in, and this is what it currently looks like. I did put this in the sharpener. I do think it's probably got a little bit of lead left in there. But then when I tried to pull it out of the sharpener, it would not come out of the sharpener. The back of it fell off. I had to bite it and rip it out of the sharpener with my teeth. So I could not get it sharpened. This is where we're at with it. It is really, really little. So I'm just gonna go with it's empty. I have a hard time even getting it out of the cap once I put the cap on it. So listen, this was a wonderful eyeliner and I would repurchase it for sure. I loved it a lot, especially for like my rosy or even my orange eye looks. Like it was just such a beautiful eyeliner, and I really, really, really like the LA Girl Shockwave eyeliners. So this weighed in at 3.42 grams when we first rolled it in, and today it weighs in at 2.20. So I did get quite a bit of use out of it. It didn't break in the sharpener. This is all 100% use, and it was one of my favorites, which was why it was so tiny when I first rolled it in, because it really wasn't much bigger than it currently is right now. The last product that I have that is empty today is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser. Really, really excited about this guy. I haven't had, I don't think, a concealer empty in a very, very long time. This rolled in last month as well. I had quite a bit of usage on it when we rolled it in. It rolled in at 21.93 grams of product. And today, as we're rolling it out, it weighs 19.84 grams of product. So almost 4 grams of product was used over the last month. I think that with this guy, I probably wouldn't repurchase because of this right here. I do think a lot of the product gets lost in this here. And I also think that a lot of the product gets lost because this here creates just a damn mess. This is probably the messiest product that I have in my collection overall. And that includes like the Charlotte Tilbury ones that also have that like doe foot like applicator at the top of it. Like, this was just disgusting. It was disgusting all the time. It's still disgusting. And in addition to that, like the way that the company packages it with the tape around the top of it instead of, like, I get why they do that. They want to make sure that it remains sanitary until somebody buys it. But then in addition to the fact that it like leaks everywhere and this becomes like sticky from the sticker that was on it to seal it, it just creates this disgusting mess of sticky, concealery goopiness. It's so gross. So while I loved this concealer, I think it was very, very pretty. It was such a beautiful concealer. For somebody who doesn't like concealers, that's saying something. I would never repurchase it. But I am happy that it was in my collection because it really truly is a beautiful concealer. I am especially happy and proud of myself for this empty this month because this concealer was in my collection for less than a year. And I liked it enough to use it like that, which is crazy sauce to me because I don't love concealer. I don't put concealer on hardly at all. I think that you can probably tell that from my under eyes. I maybe should wear concealer. I just don't love concealer, so I just don't wear it very often. With that said, this is gone and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 empties in my project pan this month. And if I'm being honest with you, the project pan items that are left in my collection on my plan to pan list have either been decluttered or are on my list to miscellaneously declutter, which you guys will see soon because they're just too old. Except for the 3 eyeshadow sticks. There's actually, I guess, a blush in here too that I might not declutter. I don't know. We're gonna roll in some things and I can't wait to talk to you about them. So let's do that. But I forgot to grab them, so I need to go grab them. I'll be right back. So the first one that we are going to be bringing in is another lip liner. I kind of like to do these as one in, one out of quasi the same kind of thought process. So because we're losing the Clinique one, I am going to bring in this one. This is the Zoeva lip liner in Earthbound. I'm pretty sure this is called Earthbound. We're just going to call it Earthbound. And I think that this is probably about the same size as the Huda one was when we rolled the Huda one in. So this one is currently weighing in at 3.31 grams of product as we roll it in. And you guys will get to see the tracker that I have in place for it, where I'm showing you the measuring out of the size of the pencil as well, which I do with all my pencils. Secondarily to that, to replace this eyeliner, we are going with another eyeliner. This is the LA Girl Shockwave liner in the shade Dragon. It looks like this. I do have tape on the end of it because it has been kind of a bugger to get sharpened, but this one I do believe is a little bit longer than the Rosewood one was when we rolled it in, and it is green, so it's not one that I can like utilize 100% of the time with, you know, all of my eye looks like the Rosewood one was. This one did weigh in at 4.22 grams as we're rolling it in today. So to replace my lip oil, I am going to go with this. This is not quite a lip oil, but this is the Laneige lip treatment. So it's not like the lip sleeping mask. It has a little like applicator here that you can use. Kind of dig the component of this. This is the balm that I have been using on my lips every day before I, you know, put on my makeup. So while I am in here doing my makeup, it's the first thing I put on my face besides like my serums and my sunscreen and my primer. It is the first thing that goes on my lips anyways, and I do that to like just give my lips a little bit of a treatment before I go ahead and put on some lipstick, you know, like we all do. So I am going to pull this in. I don't think it's an easy peasy product. Today it's weighing in at 40.13 grams of product. That has been in my collection for well over a year. I do think that it's a good thing to get it out of here. To replace my Mario Soft Sculpt that was in that Becca container, I am pulling in the other portion of the Mario Soft Sculpt that is in a different Becca container. So this is the Becca Under Eye Brightening container, and it is full of the rest of the Mario Soft Sculpt that exists out of the original component. This guy weighed 47.43 grams, and I think it'll probably take quite some time to get through. This is in a different component, so I'm not sure how that's going to impact it. And this component is like a thick glass with a metal top, whereas this one is plastic. So I'm not sure how much of that weight is the component and how much is the product. That component had quite a bit of product in it, and it looks smaller from where the component sits and the amount of product you can put in there. So who knows? Who knows? I am not going to replace the lip gloss because I do want to focus in on the Mario lip gloss, but I am going to bring in the other Charlotte Tilbury mini that I have. This is the mini Beauty Light Wand in Spotlight. So this is indeed like a highlighter. And I am just interested to see, I mean, it feels like it also is pretty full of air. So I'm interested to see how this one bodes in my collection. And it is also one that I received a full size of when Charlotte Tilbury came in to Ulta Beauty in gratis. So I don't need 2 Spotlight wands in my collection. This one I've already opened and used, and it is so pretty. Even though I'm not using highlight all that much lately, I don't think that it will be a problem for me to see use in that product. It's weighing 10.71 grams of product as I'm rolling it into this project. And to replace the concealer, I am going to bring in another concealer. This concealer has been in my collection forever, literally. And this is the LYS Triple Fix Concealer. I do have mine in the shade MN1, so medium neutral 1. I mean, I like this concealer a lot, but it has been in my collection for a grip ton of time. I definitely should have focused on it before I focused on one that's been in my collection for less than a year, but I'm excited. I also really hate the component of this guy, but not because it's gross, but because the lid like should sit like this, and to get it on tight, it instead sits like this. And I hate that. I hate that. My brain cannot hang with that. So I need to get it out of my collection because it drives me nuts every single time I see it. It was 38.40 grams today as I'm weighing it in for this project. I do think that these are in it for the long haul. I don't think that these will be out anytime soon. Also this. So I think of all the products that I just rolled in, maybe this one will be out before the end of the year. I think that of the products that still exist, this one and this one will probably be gone within the next couple months. I think that this one has the potential, these two have the potential to be gone before the end of the year. But I do think that I've sucked myself into a whole lot of products that are going to be here for a while. I forgot about the blush that I was going to roll in here. Let's roll in a blush too. Why not have 12 products? This is the Ofra Winter Rose blush. This is just a like single pan blush that you get from Ofra in like their big kits where they have like a bunch of like highlighters, eyeshadows, face powders, all the things. I did get this, I think, in an Ipsy. It is really, really old, and I think that you guys can see like it's got some hard pan issues as well. It is on my list of things, you know, my plan to pan list, so we're gonna go ahead and roll this in too. I don't know what it's going to look like at the end of the year. I also know that I have tried to pan a blush before, and I hated every single moment of it. But this is weighing in at 7.10 grams of product, and it is kept in this palette of single blushes and highlights. But I do have some like little magnetic palettes that I will likely just put this into and put it into my project pan drawer here, so that I don't have to worry about remembering to pull this in, nor having this giant thing on my vanity for the next 6 months. So that is it. That is what I've got for you. So we have 12 products, 7 new products that we rolled into this project pan. How did I end up with 12 products? The only thing that we have left on my planned pan list are 3 like eyeshadow sticks. Those will likely not get rolled in this year. So with that said, I do think that I will have 6 of the 33 items that I rolled in for planned pan that I decluttered, and 3 that I elect not to pan this year. They will likely roll into my next year's planned pan. They were eyeshadow sticks, and the reason why I had them on here in the first place was because when I made this list, I didn't have the affinity for eyeshadow sticks that I have currently. So they're not necessarily items that need to be part of a planned pan. That said, I will have 6 that I've decluttered. I will have 3 that I didn't put into a project or get panned this year, and 9 out of 33 items that didn't actually get panned out of the list of 33 items, I think is actually pretty good. But you guys will see a planned pan update, you know, closer to the end of the year, where we really dive into the things that I panned, what I think about the things that I panned, and also the things that I decluttered and why, and the things that I didn't use. So you guys will get that video much, much later in life. But with that said, that's it. That's all I've got for you, and I hope that you enjoyed the video. What are you panning? I would be interested to hear. Do you have a project pan that you're doing? I actually have a couple on my channel. I've got Turn and Burn, I've got Deca Panning, and I've got this one, and this one is my completionist project pan. So everything I roll into this video, I plan on finishing prior to rolling out. And then Deca Panning is usually about usage, and Turn and Burn is about deluxe size and samples. So I can only keep track of so many plans or project pans. I'm not like a whole-on project panner, but I do enjoy it. I do enjoy project panning. I do enjoy getting use out of the products that I purchased and brought into my collection, or even that I got in gratis and brought into my collection. So it makes me feel some sort of way at the end of the year to have like $3,000 worth of empties in my collection. So I don't know, I'm rambly at this point, so I'm gonna let you go. But thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that you want to subscribe before you go, and I hope that you all are well. I hope that you are all safe and healthy and getting along as best you can. I hope that you are all loving each other, being kind humans, and living your best life. And until next time, bye friends.